Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos. It's not going to be about beauty products, but rather another of my passions that I hardly ever talk about on my channel. It is going to be about movies. So today I'm going to talk through 5 of some of my favorite movies, but these specifically are more indie movies that you may or may not know about already, or you probably haven't seen. So I just wanted to tell you guys about some of my favorite movies and kind of give you a little synopsis of each one, and yeah, just kind of put some of my favorite movies out there, show them a little love. So before I start talking about any of these movies, I do want to just kind of preface that I really love the kinds of movies that could start out with the preface of based on a true story. I just love movies that seem realistic or I feel like could actually happen. I love it whenever a movie feels really realistic. And I'm not talking about like sci-fi movies where the CGI is so good that it looks like it's a real creature. No, I mean like it feels like cameras are actually following these people actually living through these things. So I just really like raw feeling films where you believe that the characters are real and that what they're going through is real, because I just feel like that is some of the best cinema work out there. So that's kind of the theme with all of these. They all feel very realistic and very real, and they are kind of lesser known. So you may know of some of them and you may have seen some of them, but I'm pretty sure some of these are pretty under the radar. So if you haven't seen them, I would totally recommend checking them out. I believe all of these are available on Amazon for rent, and I think they're also available on YouTube and iTunes too for rent. So if you're looking to check out a new movie, then I would recommend looking on one of those sites for one of these 5 movies, but I'm a little biased because I love them a lot. But let's get started with movie number 1. First is Celeste and Jesse Forever. This is a film starring Rashida Jones and Andy Samberg, obviously. And a brief summary of the film is these guys are 2 best friends who have gotten married, and now a few years down the line they've decided to get a divorce. And the whole film is just about the 2 of them navigating the feelings of being best friends with somebody but not being married to them anymore, and just kind of how it feels to let go of someone you love and how it feels to watch someone you love move on after they have left you. And it's just so heartbreaking and so beautiful, and I love it so much. I cannot say enough good things about this movie. The soundtrack is really great, and I actually have a couple of the songs on my phone that I listen to regularly still, and I think I saw this movie like 4 or 5 years ago, so it's been a little while, and it has still remained one of my favorites. I just love how heartbreaking and true this movie is. It's so good. So that is number 1. Number 2 is actually I'm going to say it's one of my all-time favorite movies, because all of these are very much so my favorite movies. But the second one really and truly is one of my favorite movies. It's one of those movies that I could put on any day and it would just make me feel happy. It's called The Way, Way Back. And this one is about a boy who goes to the beach for the summer with his mom and his mom's boyfriend and his mom's boyfriend's daughter. While he's there for the summer, he gets a job at a water park, and he starts out super shy and just kind of blossoms throughout the summer thanks to all the people that he meets at the water park. And it's just such a great movie. I love it so much. My heart breaks for him because I can't imagine how it feels to be in the situation that he's in this movie, and he just seems like such a sweet guy. But it's got a great cast. It's got Steve Carell, Toni Collette, Allison Janney, Sam Rockwell, Maya Rudolph, Anna Sophia Robb. Like, it is just a really great all-around cast, and the guy Liam James is really great in it too. And I just can't say enough good things about this movie. I think it's the perfect summer movie. It just gives you all of the summer vibes when you watch it. And it's funny, it's heartbreaking, it's just all around such a great movie. Again, it can be rented on Amazon or on YouTube or on iTunes, and if if you watch any of these movies that I recommend, I think that one in particular, The Way, Way Back, is the one that is most like universally acceptable for all people. I think a lot of people would really enjoy it. So that one is definitely high up on my list. Number 3 is genuinely, I think, one of my top 2 favorite movies of all time. It is The Spectacular Now. This is a film starring Shailene Woodley and Miles Teller, 2 of my favorite actors of my generation. And it is just such an amazing movie. It actually is a book too. I read the book before I saw the movie and I loved it. And they did make a few changes to the movie, but really the entire story is centered around Sutter Keeley, who is played by Miles Teller, and he is this charismatic, crazy, reckless senior in high school, and he basically just gets by in life on his charisma, and he is an alcoholic at 18, and he's going nowhere fast. He has no plans for the future. He doesn't even want to think about the future, and everything is going great in his life. He's got a girlfriend, and he's just super happy, and then things just kind of start going downhill. He loses his girlfriend, he gets fired from his job, he starts failing one of his classes and told that he's not going to be able to graduate, and all of this is happening right around the time that he meets Amy, who's played by Shailene Woodley, and everything just kind of turns on its head for him, and it's just such an amazing story, and it's so sad and heartbreaking, and it's a great depiction of like coming of age and how it feels to be a senior in high school, and how everything just feels like you have to remember it because it's all going to be so nostalgic for you in a few short years. And it's an amazing, beautiful, wonderful movie. I love it so, so, so much. And if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it if you love a good coming of age story and love story. And it's just so good. It's so good. I'm overwhelmed. But there's a great cast aside from Shailene and Miles. There's Jennifer Jason Leigh, there's Kyle Chandler, Brie Larson is in it. It's just such a great movie, and I don't think it got enough recognition whenever it came out. I remember I was so, so, so excited to see it, and I was so excited whenever it came to my local theater because it was a limited release, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see it in theaters, and I'm pretty sure I saw it by myself too, so it's got a really special place in my heart, and I really, really love it, so I would definitely recommend it to you guys. Movie number 4, let's move right along, is Short Term 12. This one I've only seen a couple of times, but I really, really liked it, and I think that a lot of people would like it as well. This one is starring Brie Larson and John Gallagher Jr. These two in the film are a couple, and they both are workers at a teen mental health facility, basically, like a home for troubled teens. And the two of them, I think the guy, I know Brie Larson's character had a history of trouble in her past as well. And there is a girl that comes in that just kind of really tests Grace, or Brie Larson's character is named Grace, tests Grace and just like makes her think about everything differently, and it brings up a lot of her own past, and it's just a very beautiful but sad depiction of what it's like in the world today, and how there are people that suffer for a lot of different reasons that a lot of people don't really recognize or think about. And I really, really, really love this one. It's very heartbreaking, but it's also really beautiful and happy as well. I love how all of these troubled people have come together and become a family, and it's just really, 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 really good. So that's another one that I would recommend. You may have noticed there's a little bit of a overlap as far as like people that are in these movies. Brie Larson's in a couple of the movies, Shailene Woodley's in a couple of the movies. There's another movie that if I had done 6 movies, I would have definitely included it, that Miles Teller is also in. And I'll leave that one linked down below if you guys are interested. It just didn't really fit the theme of all of these movies, so I didn't feel like I should include it. But anyway, number 5, speaking of Shailene Woodley, is The Descendants. This is a really interesting movie because it's morbid but really lighthearted at the same time. It's about George Clooney and his family and it's about George Clooney's character. I keep struggling with like how to talk about each of these because I keep wanting to say like the actual actor's name instead of their name in the movie because you guys won't understand that. But it's about George Clooney's character and how his wife is in the hospital in a coma, and he has a teenage daughter and a preteen daughter, and him trying to kind of navigate single parent life as a father and raising girls who he doesn't understand, and also finding out that his wife isn't coming out of the coma and how he has to tell all of his family and friends about everything, and finding out about him like a mysterious second life that his wife was living, and just coming to terms with all of that. And in the midst of all of that, also making a huge family decision like for his greater family as well. And it is just such an interesting movie, and it's like it's one of those movies that you watch and it's just like, good Lord, how much can one person really handle at once? But it's so well shot, so well acted. Shailene Woodley is amazing in it, and I just love everything about it. The shots are beautiful. It was shot in Hawaii. And like I said, it's a very morbid subject, but somehow they make it lighthearted too. And I really like that about this movie. I think that it's very human, and I think that a lot of the reactions in it depict what a normal person would feel, and I just love it so much. I think it's a great movie. We were actually rewatching it a couple of days ago, and I really, really, really enjoyed it again. And yeah, it's just great. So I think that's it. That is my 5 indie movies that you may or may not have heard of that you should definitely watch. And I have no idea what I'm going to title this. That is such a long title. But yeah, here are all 5 of the movies together. Here are all 5 of them together. And again, all of these are available on iTunes and Amazon and YouTube as well for rent. And I would highly recommend all of these. I think they are great. So if any of them piqued your interest, then definitely check them out. I will try to leave links down below for trailers if you want to check those out. But these are all such great movies, and I really, really, really enjoyed doing this video. I feel like I don't get to talk about a lot of my other loves as much as I would like to. So, or not, rather, I don't know how to talk about my other loves like I do makeup. I definitely am capable of showing you guys my favorite products on a regular basis, but it's a little bit harder to show movies without copyright and all of that fun stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like down below and leave me a comment if there's any other types of movies that you want recommendations on, or anything like that. I've got a bookcase full of movies in the living room, so I definitely have a lot to choose from, and I've seen a lot more than what we own. So I am full of movie knowledge and movie recommendations. So if you want to see best 80s movies, or my favorite 80s movies, favorite action movies, favorite movies based on books, like just let me know. I can go a million different directions with this, and I would gladly do it. So leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for other movie videos that you want me to do, and I'll leave a link down here to subscribe and a link up here to some of my previous videos, probably one of my more recent videos since I don't really have anything to compare this one to. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!